What? 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 Ah! What's up, guys? It's TheJarvitar, and I am fabulously late to the wide world of Pokemon ROM hacks. I've been a fan of this series essentially my whole life. In fact, I've been down bad for Pokemon since I could form coherent sentences. But for that whole time, I've been exclusively playing official Pokemon games. I've never really dipped my toes into the vast ocean that is Pokemon fan games, but no longer, because I can safely say that I
taken your first step into a larger world.
On stream, over on Twitch, I played my first ever ROM hack, a pretty popular one you may have heard of called Pokemon Crystal Legacy. Consider this video as essentially my formal review of the game, the good, the great, and whatever criticisms I might have to share. But before we launch in, I just gotta check, are you subscribed? Feel free to if you're feeling crazy. And to catch live playthroughs of my Nuzlockes and fan games like this, be sure to follow me on Twitch and join our Discord to join our community of Pokemon fans. With that being said, let's talk about Pokemon Crystal Legacy. Where did it come from? Well, Crystal Legacy is essentially a perfected form of Pokemon Crystal, meant to address some of the major flaws in the original games while still maintaining many of the core elements that make the original what it is. The project was led by a very recognizable name here on the Pokemon side of YouTube, The Smith Plays Pokemon. If you go to his channel, you'll find video after video detailing the changes that they made to this game to make it what it is. The bulk of the issues that this game seeks to address stem from the interesting leveling, team composition, and moveset problems that the base game suffers from. Crystal Legacy fixes the game in a way that reveals Johto's greatest qualities. So let's address them one at a time. Progression in a normal playthrough of Gold, Silver, or Crystal can be pretty hard. Once you beat Morty, it can be pretty difficult to know what to do, what gym leaders to fight, and where to go. Crystal Legacy does one of the best things I've ever seen a Pokemon game do. It level scales certain gym leaders. In this game, you can battle the 5th, 6th, and 7th gym leaders in any order, with their teams changing to accommodate the order you decide to battle them in. Genuinely, this is ingenious. While playing, I had a great time planning out my battles with chat to maximize the amount of diverse teams that we might encounter, which leads me to another great quality of this game: updated team compositions. Every single gym leader and plenty of other fights have been redone to give their teams an extra level of challenge, but also to highlight more of the incredible Pokemon that are available in these games. For example, rather than Chuck only having a Poliwrath and a Primeape, depending on when you fight him, he might also have a Heracross, Hitmontop, and Pinsir. Morty now has the Ghost type that was introduced in Gen 2. Imagine that! Teams are significantly stronger and diverse, which makes for a much more interesting game experience. But not only are the enemy teams more diverse, but your own is as well. Another incredible change that Crystal Legacy makes had to deal with the wild encounters that are on specific routes and locations. I'll be honest and transparent, there is a very specific reason that I chose Crystal Legacy as the first ROM hack that I played on stream. And it's all because of this little guy. As can be made very clear by my name, Larvitar and by extension Tyranitar are my favorite Pokemon. But here's the problem with Larvitar, you can't get it. In almost every single game that Larvitar is even catchable, it's usually locked in the post game. By that point, your team has already been assembled for the most part, and taking time to grind up a Larvitar to 55 is a pain in the ass. Scarlet and Violet are like actually some of the first main series games that let you get Larvitar relatively early. Crystal Legacy fixes this problem, but not just with Larvitar. Almost every route has been reworked to give you access to more Pokemon than can be normally found in base Crystal. The changes made are done intentionally, so the routes aren't overloaded and you, the trainer, meet Pokemon at a relatively good pace. Now you can actually encounter Houndour in your playthrough, as well as a bunch of others. As part of mine, I used a Houndoom and a Skarmory, when normally I would have had to wait so much longer to get one of those. Not to mention my boy Larvitar. Also on my team were Kingdra and Porygon 2, because Crystal Legacy changes the evolution methods of Pokemon that require trades to be much easier. I've never been able to use a Kingdra in Crystal, and it was awesome. And the last member of my team was another one I was really excited for, my own starter, Meganium. Meganium gets so much hate because it gets screwed over by its own game. Its original moveset is trash, but not in Crystal Legacy. Using Stab Giga Drain with my Meganium that it learned through level up was so much fun. Crystal Legacy changes level up learn sets for so many Pokemon so that they're more fun to use throughout your run. Rather than waiting until it was like in the 50s to learn Steel Wing, my Skarmory learned it in the 30s, which completely changed how effective it was to use. Not to mention that it got Drill Peck, which normally has to be bred into Skarmory. These simple changes made Skarmory so much more fun to use. On this playthrough that I did on Twitch, I did have one singular issue though, but in all fairness, it's very minor. You see, Pokemon Crystal Legacy has a built-in hardcore mode that institutes hard level caps according to each gym fight. The cap is always the ace of the next gym leader, and I had no issue while getting through the region, but my first time going through the Elite Four, I did have a problem. Historically, according to hardcore rule sets, in the Elite Four, the level cap is supposed to correspond to the ace of the fourth member. This is because the level difference between the first member and the champion can sometimes be so drastic that if you were to base it off the first member, you'd be screwed, and if you were to base it off the champion, you wouldn't struggle at all against the rest of the league. So the fourth member is usually the standard. In this case, that would be Karen and her Houndoom, which would make the level cap like 55 or 56 in this game. But Crystal Legacy kind of messed this up, because it set Will's ace as the level cap, making it 50. All things considered, this wouldn't have made a massive difference, except the entire point of me playing this game in the first place was because I wanted a Larvitar from the beginning, and then I would raise it throughout the course of my playthrough and have a Tyranitar just in time to fight Lance. It would have been so cool, but it didn't end up working out that way. The reason I feel that this was unintentional is because the rematch that you do with the Elite Four, the second time through, the level caps were fine. And when it comes down to it, this complaint is really minor, and it doesn't really affect my opinion on the project as a whole. Besides enemy team changes, moveset changes, and encounter changes, what other stuff can you expect from Pokemon Crystal Legacy? Well, Crystal Legacy also makes minor story changes, very minor, to help make the game feel a little bit more cohesive as a whole. You're also better informed as to where you need to go, which fixes a lot of confusion that happens around the Rocket plotline. Like, honestly, who else got so lost when playing original Gold, Silver, or Crystal? At a certain point, you're just coasting while so much is happening around you. Now, there are some aspects of the updated story that I'd like to not share in case you haven't played the game yet. Some of them are best experienced on their own. There's one thing, though, that I feel like I just have to share, because it's too cool, so if you're not worried about spoilers, stick around. Alright, so remember when I said that Crystal Legacy updates the teams of the trainers that you fight? Well, that is certainly the case with the updated Elite Four, and one of the craziest changes is that Lance now has a Zapdos. He's definitely not beating the Birdkeeper allegations. The way that this is explained in the lore of this game is that before going to Mount Silver, Red gave his 3 legendary birds away for safekeeping. Lance got Zapdos, Blaine got Moltres, and Blue got Articuno. You end up fighting all 3 of these trainers with these birds on their teams, and it's awesome. But there's one legendary that Red caught that he didn't let go of. Roll the clip.
Still
What can I do to win you over?
It's either Venusaur or Espeon.
What? 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 What?
Oh, no, what? Bro! Of course he has Mewtwo in Crystal Legacy! What? Oh, shoot, dude! Okay, Pumpkin. We need you to do something. We need you to do something here. Am I cooked? Flamethrower? That's crazy. I'm not faster. We have 2 dark types. Bro, he has submission! He's quad super effective! He's quad super effective with Tyranitar! Bro. How much will this do? Do I live this? Does Watermelon live this, bro? Okay, how much does this do? Oh, damn. Nothing. Bro, a Mewtwo is crazy. I'm here like, yeah, Espeon's waiting in the back. Zucchini's still fucking asleep. All right, Honeydew, you've got to live a submission. Come on, come on. Yo. Get fucked. Let's go, dude. Honeydew. Let's go. Bro, that's why he's the GOAT. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
What happened there as we fought Red on stream is genuinely one of the best Pokemon experiences I've ever had. And this is coming from someone who has played potentially thousands of hours of Pokemon throughout his life. Like, here I am anticipating that we'd be fighting an Espeon, but then he rolls up with a Mewtwo and it shatters my whole world. In review, Pokemon Crystal Legacy accomplishes the impossible task of updating a game without it losing any of the charm that makes it so endearing. Every change made manages to improve upon the original and bring out more of its hidden quality. Crystal Legacy is so good that it gives Heart Gold and Soul Silver competition as potentially the best way to experience the Johto region. Like, actually, I think this might be the definitive Johto experience. Like, no joke, this is the Johto region at the best you've ever seen it. Playing this game not only hits you with a wave of nostalgia, but the pace of the game is so much better, you don't have to excuse weird game design decisions in order to maintain your enjoyment. I give Pokemon Crystal Legacy 5 stars, and hope you all get a chance to check it out and experience what is clearly a passion project by some really devoted people. For more information regarding the game and more in-depth discussion as to what was changed, go check out the Smith Plays Pokemon, where you'll get all the tools necessary to play this game yourself. Also, be sure to follow me on Twitch to catch playthroughs and challenge runs like this. We had a great time experiencing this game, and we have so much more planned. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more. And be sure to comment about some of your favorite Pokemon fan games. And with that, peace out, Pokemon trainers.